You want me to put that on my todger?
This one's wife, Doria, demands security. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Prince Harry has found himself subjected to a pincer movement between two narcissists, his wife and his mother-in-law. He is the intimate partner primary source of his wife. He is the non-intimate secondary source of his mother-in-law. It is often the case when two narcissists come together that there will be a clash as both seeks to control the other. If you would like to understand more about some of the instances where that happens, I would direct you to my two videos, When Narcissists Collide. There are also instances where the narcissists will actually work together. It doesn't mean that it's always a smooth ride, but externally it looks like a successful coupling. This can be seen with the process of narcissistic cementation, which again I have spoken about in a video of that name. When it comes to this one's wife and her mother acts as a lieutenant to this one's wife, and their interactions with one another largely are benign, because this one's wife is able to instruct her mother to provide residual benefits, such as looking after the children, of assisting her with the control of Harry. And this suits this one's wife's mother because she receives fool by response. But also, it enables her to gain residual benefits, for example, staying at a rather nice mansion, having access to certain events, and obtaining money. But it would appear that Doria is seeking a further residual benefit in that she's now demanding security. We are aware, of course, that the issue of security is a theme that runs throughout much of what the Sussexes do. This one's wife, driven by her paranoia, believes that a pizza delivery boy on a scooter is a rampant horde of paparazzi. That she believes that a few people taking her pictures after leaving an event in New York was an incessant chase by paparazzi. And with her inflated sense of importance and the necessity of the Diana duplication, she believes that there are repeated threats to her person by persons unknown, necessitating having security. She believes that she needs that security, and we have seen on the various pap walks across parking lots that there's invariably some man with her fulfilling the role of security cum driver. This is all part of the triangulation of this one's wife, as she triangulates that person with the onlooking public by way of viewers and readers. She believes that she needs this protection and therefore has at least one security person around her in order to say, look at me, I'm really important, I need security. But as we saw last week, to many people's amusement, a lady walks past her in the parking lot and doesn't even give her a second glance. Whilst there's a lot of people that really don't like this one's wife, it's not that they're actually going to be moved to do anything about it and attack her. No, most people would just wish that she would go away because they find her so irritating. Indeed, there has never been a suggestion of any overzealous fans getting near to her. In fact, the ones that have photographed with her, she has to place because nobody's that really interested in her to begin with, save watching her fail, and they're quite content to do that at a distance. Thus, the issue of security for her is all about making her look important, and is driven by her narcissistic paranoia. Harry, of course, is a target because he's legitimate royalty, and therefore for certain individuals around the globe, doing harm to him would be seen as striking a blow against Britain by attacking a member of its monarchy. Furthermore, he didn't help himself with his glib comments that were made in Spare about the number of Taliban that he had killed and how he'd moved them off the board like so many chess pieces. He has grown up used to having security because there are individuals that may well do him harm, not because it's him, not because they dislike ginger hair or his pink pancakes, but rather because of what he represents, that he's part of the establishment, that he is part of the British monarchy. And it would be seen, as was the case during the war in Afghanistan, a particular feather in the caps of the enemy if he had been injured or indeed killed. Leaving aside being in the theatre of war, Harry is a potential target, and therefore this is why he has always had that security. We're also aware that he has been seeking additional security as a consequence of the court actions that he has launched. Yet, along comes Doria, and now she deems that it's appropriate that she has security also. This is because she spends apparently so much time looking after the children that she deems that it would be appropriate for her to have security also. This, of course, is going to increase the cost for the Sussexes if they are going to provide security for the mother-in-law. And it would appear that it is part of trying to extend the security more generally to suggest our mother is the one that often looks after the children when we're busy watching Beyonce or going to the ice hockey, and therefore we need that to be funded also. This, of course, demonstrates, once again, the sense of entitlement of this one's wife to palm off her children with her mother-in-law. Now, plenty of parents do rely upon the grace and favour of family members to look after the children so they can enjoy a night out if they don't hire a professional babysitter. But with this one's wife, we know that she has no real interest in the children save what they provide to her, and therefore she's all too content for them to be palmed off on a nanny or on the mother-in-law. As part of trying to get hold of this security, however, they're now suggesting that Doria's demands for security ought to be met. Doria is going to make such a demand because it's in tandem with what this one's wife requires and also fits with her own sense of entitlement. She will relish the fact that her own profile has been increased as a consequence of her connection to this one's wife who married a prince. Accordingly, it is unsurprising that Doria now demands that she ought to receive security, that this would be supported by this one's wife, and of course that this one's wife and Harry expect the bill for this to be met not by them, but to be met by the relevant countries in relation to the retention of international protected people status. Once again, such a demand is demonstrative of the sense of entitlement of not one but two narcissists, Doria Ragland and her daughter, this one's wife. It's hardly a surprise and just goes to show once again that when many people are struggling to cause ends to meet, that this one's wife and her mother want to gain some form of existence off the back of other people, but actually contributing very little, if anything at all, themselves. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.